to the process. We have a special guest today.
Yes.
My homegirl Staci. She's here. And while she's here, she's going to answer a few questions and she's going to give us her synopsis on what women want. Now, John is he's the forerunner of this question. John is married. He has 2 daughters.
And a boy.
But what women want, so what they want, the ladies want. Right. I know Staci is gonna be.
She gonna go hard.
She gonna go hard. But she gonna tell us the truth though.
Okay.
She gonna tell us the truth.
That's it. Okay.
She gonna tell us the truth.
That's good.
We want the truth, right?
Need that.
Truth.
Need that.
You know, Q's still in the building, man. We supposed to be working out when we get done.
Yes. Need that. Need that.
I'm not really gonna enjoy that too much, but
I'm looking forward to it.
Back to the process. So, family, we are here with Staci.
Okay.
It's not a real name. It's not a government name, but we're not gonna reveal that because she don't want to reveal that.
I mean, it's basically my government name. Like,
it is, but it's just
it's a shortened version of it. Yes.
Exactly. So I'm gonna let John spearhead this with the mic and take action. I might chime in though, but before we get
we need you to chime in, but yeah.
Okay. Before we get too far, make sure you like, subscribe, and share with the world because we're getting ready to find out what women want.
And please don't forget to comment.
Yeah, comment. If you have any questions.
I'm praying it doesn't get heated. It probably won't. More than likely it won't.
Not gonna take it that far.
No, it ain't gonna take it that far.
Okay, cool.
But ladies, please comment. Please comment.
Ask the questions, and I will personally text Staci and ask her like, "Hey," and I will answer the question in our comment section. So anyway, let's get started. John, all right, it's on you,
Miss Staci.
All right.
This is one thing, and I know you really can't speak for all women. But this is the thing I want to know.
Okay.
Like, what is your definition of a man?
Ooh, okay. Okay. So I would say that my definition, like, that's a random question. Like, what is a man? Like,
okay.
Or like, what makes a good man?
More or less, if you see it like a man walking down the street, you look at him, oh yeah, he's a man, you know, or, well, no, not even like that.
I would say I've never done that.
Well,
I think that all people with penises are men, so.
Well, no, not these days.
Well, no,
not
yes,
these
days.
Not these days.
All people who have penises are men. They identify as men.
Well,
and so like
males.
Males. So that's different. That is very different.
Yeah.
But people with penises are men, so.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. As far as manhood, what would you, okay, here it is. What qualities would you say make a man?
Okay. So I think that strength is important, like mentally, physically, and emotionally. I think that the ability to take care and provide in your own way. Like, you know, every man doesn't need to make the most money. Every man doesn't need to like build shit and put in light bulbs, but like whatever your skill set is, you need to be able to do that and use that skill set to help the people in your life. I think that a good man understands that emotional intelligence doesn't make him weak. And he is able to be emotionally intelligent and support people in his life. I think that good men take care of people. I think that good men don't have to be aggressive, but they have to be persistent in their goals. I think that they have to have goals.
Right.
I think that
that's a vision.
Good men understand their purpose and they live according to it daily. And I think that good men make and keep commitments.
It's deep.
That is deep. Yeah, drink to that one. I wish I could. Yeah, drink to that.
It's water, by the way. I started.
Okay, so let me ask you this now. Would you say a man would be considered weak if he is submissive to his woman?
No. I think that relationships require partnership, and partnership requires that people understand where they need to be dominant and where they need to be submissive. I think that good men understand that sometimes a good woman might be better at something than you, and it's in your best interest and in the best interest of your family to let her take the role. Like, if I have an engineering degree and I know how to build a fucking bridge, but you don't want me to build the bridge because you the man and you supposed to use tools, and then the bridge fucking fall apart, that's your fault for being stupid. Like, strength and intelligence is understanding what skill set you have and how you can best use that. Like, I'm a good manager. I know I'm not about to build shit, but what I can do is tell you where shit go. And if you smart, you gonna listen. And so dumb people make dumb decisions because they try to live up to what other people say they're supposed to do. Gotcha. And a good man understands that sometimes when you have the right partner, it's better to let the right partner lead.
Wow. Okay. Well, Jay.
I ain't want to chime in.
I'm just saying, because I mean, I need that because I hear a lot of times, I have conversations with my wife and with my homegirl I grew up with. We have a lot of intense conversations, and we always battle, me and my friend, we always battle back and forth because she's saying, well, a man not supposed to do this, a man. I'm like, well, what the hell is a man supposed to do?
Whatever the fuck you want to do. Just like a woman's supposed to do whatever the fuck she want to do. Like, I think that we get so caught up in this idea that you have to be this certain type of woman or this certain type of thing in order to be right. But what we don't realize is that these gender roles, one, come from a time that's very played out. Two, they don't have a real role in life. People say that if you look at animals don't do this. That's not true. Like, in different animal populations, different male and female species play different roles in the household, in a relationship, in the pod, whatever you want to call it. And so if I, as a woman, like for example, I drink dark liquor, right? Women aren't supposed to drink dark liquor. I'm supposed to like fruity stuff and like on appletini. I don't like that. And so like, oh well, that could just be not womanly. Like, oh, why are you out here trying to drink like a man? No, I'm doing what feels right for me. And I think that when more people start to do what feels right to them and live in their truth, regardless of what that may be, like, relationships will improve drastically instead of trying to be something you're not for somebody else to be like, oh, this is a man because, you know, he carried my groceries or whatever. Like, all right.
Is chivalry dead?
Or is it outplayed?
I love chivalry. I don't open doors. I don't take out my own trash.
And you live alone?
I do.
You don't do none of that?
No.
It's a man that does that?
Somebody do it. I don't. But I make plates too. Like, I make plates and I cook dinner. That's just how I was raised. I think that chivalry is understanding what somebody else needs and anticipating those needs.
It's a love language.
It's not, I mean, well, it is a love language, but it's not just opening doors and carrying, putting your jacket over puddles and all that other stuff. It's the consideration that, yes, I understand you can open this door for yourself, but let me do this for you. Let me make life easier for you. I think some men, the reason why people think it's dead is because some men try to use chivalry as a weapon. Like, oh, I opened this door for you. You ain't gonna say thank you. Well, I didn't ask you to.
Some men are like that. Some men are like that.
Or I gave you a compliment. You ain't gonna say nothing back. Like, I never asked for it. Like, whistling at me is not a compliment one. Also, sometimes
whistling?
Sometimes I just want to pump my gas. Like, maybe I don't feel like smiling. Maybe it's cold, nigga. Like, I don't have to, I don't have to be whatever you want me to be just because you're doing a specific action. And I think that that's where you kind of get confused at, because I would rather you say nothing to me at all if your comment is going to be, damn, you so cute, why you pumping your own gas? Because, nigga, it's my car. Like, I don't understand why that's a problem for you.
But if a brother did want to, would you let him?
Pump my gas? Yeah.
You would?
I don't pump my gas if there's a man in my car. But like, if a strange man wants to pump my gas, I'm also not opposed to that either. Like, I've had men walk up to me at a gas station like, hey, like, just the way that I was raised, like, my mom doesn't like when I let women pump their own gas. Do you mind if I do this for you? I will happily have a seat in my car. But if you come and snatch the gas pump out my head, oh, women ain't supposed to do that, that's a whole nother story. And I think that that's where chivalry gets like this bad rep at, because like, men think that if I'm chivalrous, I'm entitled to the thing that I want for doing this action, and it's not a selfless action anymore. If your action is selfless, if you're doing this because of who you are as a person, if you're doing it because, you know, I want this person to be comfortable, like I want to do what's in the best interest of this other person, there's nothing wrong with that.
Wow. Shout out to the AKA. She's speaking on behalf of y'all. She's wearing her
I'm
colors
speaking
too.
on behalf of this.
I'm just joking.
The case that could.
Right. You know what? I'm not gonna jump off subject.
Okay.
But I want to say this real quick. So you just said something that I had a debate for, and I was real humble with it.
Okay.
All right. I was talking about your sorority sister who is running for president.
Kamala Harris.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. So, and we're not gonna get on that because we're gonna do that in the next episode. But
Okay.
I asked her a question, and it was just, I was like, do you support her because she's your soror? And then she was like, she gave me a little synopsis. I said, okay, I understand and I respect that. I said, and I respect the K's. I said I respect the K's because, you know, I was around them a lot and I have good friends that are K's. She said, don't call me no K, I am an AKA. I said, ooh, sweetheart, pump your brakes. I do apologize if that came off offensive, but where I come from, St. Louis, we call the AKAs the K's. I said, this was no disrespect, and one of my homeboys is a Q, he chimed in and said, Joe, he actually didn't chime in, he actually sent me a message. He's like, man, she went in about you saying the K's, but you just gave her the synopsis on what we call AKAs from where we come from.
Yeah, I think Greek language is real regional.
Like, it is.
It's real regional. So like, I'm from the Midwest just like you. I'm crossing the Midwest, Ohio State, and I don't have a problem with K's. I don't.
I didn't think it was. I was like, is that disrespectful? Because it's girls don't like Deltas don't like. Some of them don't like red. Some of them don't like to be called red. Some of them are okay with it, but some of them they don't like it.
I mean, I think, like I said, it's all very regional. It's all dialect. Like I came down here and sometimes people just aren't as friendly. Like, I'm from the Midwest. Like, I was met, like, you got to show hospitality. Like, and so if you're not hospitable, then why be Greek? Like, why join an organization meant for sisterhood and brotherhood if you're not going to be a hospitable person?
Exactly.
And I think that a lot of people get kind of caught up on this, I'm Greek, and then they forget that, okay, well, what's it for? Like, are you Greek to wear letters? Are you Greek to go to parties? Are you Greek to stroll? Or are you really here for, like, uplift, network, service? Yeah. Exactly.
But back to what we were talking about, the subject. What women want, if you are just now kind of tuning in, what women want. I really don't have too many. All right, from your perspective, what do women want?
Dick with no complications, no.
Alrighty.
No, but I think women want commitment, women want consistency, women want to be heard, women want to be supported, women want to be treated like people,
Right.
and they want to feel important. Like, I think that's kind of a thing that gets kind of caught up in a lot of people. They don't know how to express that, so they like are bratty or bipolar or have attitude. Really, they just want to feel important. They want to feel like somebody cares about them. Like, women with fathers and women who don't have fathers have two different perceptions of what that looks like. Women who have goals and have had life experience have different perceptions of what that looks like. And I think that women want to be communicated with. But sometimes you have women who want you to automatically just know what they're thinking. Like, they watch too many movies and they feel like your intuition is supposed to be like, oh, at this very moment she will want a 4 for 4. Let me do that for her.
Right.
FYI, 4 for 4s are always a good idea. Like, I don't know a woman who is not always hungry. Like,
this is true.
Always go for some
This
fries.
is true.
So, like, if all else fails, just knock on the door with a 4 for 4. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
4 for 4. Got it.
I will eat the nuggets. But yeah, so I think that it has a lot to do with communication and with circumstances. Like, if you listen, most women are going to give you all the answers you ever need, but a lot of men don't listen to understand.
They listen to respond.
They listen to respond, and they only respond to one question at a time. So, like, you got to break it down into little simple-ass characters and shit. But if y'all start listening to understand, everything don't require a response. Like, if I tell you I'm tired of doing the dishes all the time, I'm not telling you that I'm tired of doing the dishes. I'm telling you maybe you should start pulling some more weight around here. Like, dishes ain't really the problem, but if I'm the only one doing this specific thing, that's the problem. And I think that a lot of men are like very one-dimensional in the way that they communicate with their partners. And so they're unable to understand context. Like, you know, like when you're in school, you read the sentence, and the sentence is something like, you know, Billy went to the park to play ball, and they're gonna ask you what you took from that sentence, right? You go, oh, Billy went to the park to play ball. Right. Or you can be like, okay, Billy left his house, he went on a journey, he got exercised, he was, like, there are certain things that you can extrapolate from a situation. And most men are like, oh, well, he just went outside to play ball. But for me, I'm like, okay, well, he got some exercise, he's into basketball, that might be a hobby, he left his house, there must be a park nearby.
Women like details.
Yeah, well, no, it's not even liking details, it's about understanding the situation for context. Like, I'm the type of person, like, I was raised to be aware of my surroundings at all aspects. Like, so when I hear or am in a situation, I can tell you how to get out as soon as I get there. Like, I'm looking at things for context, like, all the time. But sometimes when you're dealing with men, they're not looking at things for context. They're looking at things for what they are. Like,
exactly. Because we deal in facts. We don't necessarily deal in...
Yeah, we straightforward.
We deal in emotions, but we're more factual about the emotions. Like, if we ask, well, what's wrong with you? Nothing. What? That doesn't... Like, what do you mean?
Well, that's
nothing?
a communication error on a woman's part. But, like, what's wrong with you is a horrible conversation. Because
it is.
Well, like, because it might
and
not...
I agree.
Well, like, it really might not be anything wrong with me. But I might be bothered by a specific situation. And so instead of saying, what's wrong with you, what's bothering you? What can we work on today?
Word verbiage.
Like, ask better questions, because ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm perfectly fine. I'm pretty. I'm smart. I got money in the bank, nigga. I'm good. What's bothering me right now, is you left them socks there for 3 fucking days.
Right.
And that's a problem. That's a problem. And I think that when you act, and like we just had this whole conversation of like y'all being basic, basically, like y'all got to be a little bit more. Y'all gotta search for more, because everything is not this specific problem right here. Some of it is a lot, and when you ask better questions, you get better answers.
Got it.
I got you.
There you go.
I got you.
That's a lot.
That is, and that's true, and that's true. That's true, and a lot of men don't even. A lot of men are too lazy to even
go the distance,
or even try to figure out what a woman is trying to say. I get it.
A lot of men are lazy in general. Like, unfortunately, y'all gonna be mad at me for this. Black men get congratulated for being mediocre so much that sometimes they forget to rise to the occasion. And so they don't feel like they have to try in relationships anymore. They don't feel like they have to do anything to support a partner. They feel like women are lucky to be with them, and that's not the case.
I'm not mad.
And so, like, I just feel like a lot of men, black men in particular, happen to be perfectly comfortable being mediocre. And
nobody's pressing them.
Yeah, nobody. And when you do press them, they would rather just go back to being mediocre with, the girl with the stiff weave. So.
No, I wrote about that in a book I'm writing called being comfortable. How did I name it? In a comfortable mess. Being in a comfortable mess. We accept and we enjoy that at times, and we are comfortable in a comfortable mess because it's so normal. And we don't want to break loose. We don't want to jailbreak our mind to say, hey, this is not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a little bit more, do a little bit more, get out of this mess, because you're comfortable right there because that's what you're used to. Get out of that. But that's just nonsense.
But in all fairness, and I was just saying, I'm not making excuses or anything like that. A lot of men don't know how to get out.
Yeah.
A lot of men don't know. Like, for instance,
because they don't jailbreak their mind, they don't think.
Yeah, but I agree. But how are we supposed to get out? For those who don't know, because there are a lot of men that are sitting like may want to get out, but just don't know how. So how are they supposed to get out?
That's not true. I think that a lot of men say they want to get out, but like, you got the internet and you got the whole world in your hand. If you did something different each day, like just changed one thing each day, you'd be a completely different person by the end of the week.
That's true.
Like if you like for example, like this whole R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, black men being set up by the media situation and white men don't get the same treatment. Well, let me see the documentaries on Elvis Presley ass niggas. R. Kelly's a musical genius, you're destroying it. No, he's raping little girls. And you are trying to protect mediocrity. And there are lots of documentaries and stuff being written about these white men who are doing the same thing. There are productions and things going on, and you don't know because you only engage in black conversations. And so when you're only in black conversations and black spaces, then your worldview is different. And so everybody's like, well, where's Harvey Weinstein's documentary? Where's Woody Allen's documentary? They're there. They actually exist. They've been around for some time.
Yeah.
And the reason that you don't know about it is because, one, you didn't Google it, and two, our community is invested in our community. So like if all your 500 Facebook friends, 5,000 Facebook friends are black people listen to R. Kelly. If you ever venture over into white Twitter, it's a whole nother world. They don't give a fuck about none of the shit we talking about.
They don't.
They don't.
We said that. We talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Talking about that.
But yeah, I think that if you want to change and you don't know how, just pick up your phone.
And Google it.
Hit the Google. Or, instead of waking up at 7 in the PM, wake up at 7 a.m. Instead of, just go to the gym. Like, for example, I woke up one day and none of my pants fit. And I was like, oh my gosh, all my clothes must be shrinking. So I went to the store and I tried on a new pair of pants and the size 8 jeans was tight. And I was like, oh no, I'm fat. And so instead of being like, damn, how am I gonna not be fat? Like, I just went to the gym. And that's one change. Like, you see the problem, you have the ability to change it. I left the store, I went to the gym. And I think that we're talking about men. Men are like, damn, this is a problem.
Comfortable mess.
Yeah. And so, like, if you want to change something, change it. If you don't like where you are, move. You don't like your job, quit. I mean, probably hit Indeed a couple times for a couple
Right.
Like, don't just sit there and be like, oh my God, I'm stuck in this situation. I can't change nothing. Because honestly, if you just change one thing each day, you will be where you need to be at.
Facts.
Wow.
Facts. Woman's perspective. That's why you heard. That's why you heard. Listen, brief story. Like, I wasn't gonna call you. I actually called a couple people before I called you.
Okay.
Cause this is what I told Q this. Behind the scenes is Q. Yeah, our trainer.
Yes.
Yeah, he's gonna work us out after we get done in the gym, and I'm not looking forward to it. I said
I'm very
that's the second
looking
time.
forward to it.
That's the second time I'm saying it.
Yeah.
But I said, Q, if I call Staci, it's gonna get real. It's gonna get real.
That's what we need.
I said, do I want real? Or do I want like the bow answer then next question? She gonna give details, she gonna give synopsis, she gonna give all of that.
That's what we need. We don't need no sugarcoat.
We don't need no sugarcoat. So
no
I
sugarcoat.
thought about it. So I was texting people, and I was like, if they deny me, that's a sign. 2 people denied me. One person said, Joe, I moved from Texas. I'm back in St. Louis. Oh, you're gone? All right, cool. Hey,
man.
enjoy St. Louis. Boom, 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 boom. The other one was like, I don't know. I'm scared. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Hey, Stace, what you doing? Because this is the thing. You was the first person that came to mind. But then I was like,
A little tight.
ooh. I was like, she gonna go in. I said, because she gonna take it to a whole nother level. I said, I want that, but do I want that right now? Yeah, I do, but I played the one. I ain't gonna lie, I played the fence. I apologize for that.
That's fair.
But you was definitely the first pick, and I was like, let's get her here.
Trust your instincts, man.
Exactly. And that's what it should. That's what I should have did. Just wished her I wouldn't even have to converse with those other two. They cool. My homegirls. They both from St. Louis, ironically. But
It wasn't gonna be real though.
it wasn't gonna be real because they didn't have a strong voice like
Yeah.
like they're not as outspoken but spoken with power. You know what I'm saying?
And that intimidates a lot of black men.
It does.
It intimidates a lot of black men.
Exactly. And I was like, do I want to intimidate black men? Because you want a woman to be your friend, partner, whatever the case, that's going to be a strong woman in general. So not to say those women were weak.
Right.
I mean,
right,
well,
right,
that's
right.
well.
Exactly.
I think that as a single person. No, but I think that a lot of men don't want that. Like, I think you need that, but a lot of people don't want to be evenly yoked. A lot of people don't want to rise to the occasion. Like you said, a lot of people are just comfortable in their bullshit. And so, like, I've been told several times, like, oh, well, you're intimidating. You need to let a man be a man. And if I gotta let you be shit, you ain't it to begin with, so it's not for me.
Come in,
like, I mean, like, I don't know what you want me to do, my guy. Like, if I gotta let you do something, it ain't never gonna happen. I don't even let kids do nothing. Like, either we gonna do it or it's not gonna happen.
Right.
Like, you can or you can't. Like, I'm not gonna stop being me so you could be you. Like, that's trash.
That's beyond
but
trash.
in terms of just opinions and outspokenness, like, I think I have like my worldview is different. I left the country for the first time when I was 13 years old, and
You've been on a journey since.
I have.
Where'd you go?
Everywhere.
Where have I been, or where did I go when I was 13?
When you were 13.
I went to Panama. I was in the rainforest for 3 months.
Oh, okay.
And it was cool. I used to get woken up by monkeys and stuff. And one time I ran 2 miles through the woods or through the jungle, so I didn't have to pee outside. But like I'm saying, my life experiences, I process them differently. Like I was raised to process, and so in terms of like my thoughts and opinions and emotions and things, like I observe, I process information, and so other women have different variations of what it means to be strong. Like I'm not an emotional person. Like I cry twice a year. Like I get a good 2 cries a year. Other than that, it's like you got 10 minutes to whine about it, you got 10 minutes to be sad, and then you make a fucking plan. And so for some people, you find strength in tears. Like some people really do need to be held and they need to be coddled, and they like that's a different kind of strength. I don't possess it. And so I think that it's important for me as a woman, but also for men, to understand what your strengths and weaknesses are in a relationship and how you play to those. Like, I understand that I'm a strong person, but like my strength is somebody else's like weakness. Like my weaknesses are what somebody else can consider strong. Like I can't cry. Like my sister died. I planned her whole funeral, didn't shed a tear to the day of it. And so that's different. But some people are like, oh shit, something wrong with her, like she must be broken. And so I think that in terms of like determining what strengths are, we have to be able to change that conversation, because I think that is what gets a lot of men caught up. They think that, oh, I have to be strong in this particular way to be a man or to get the results that I want. When really, if you understood that strength comes in a variety of things depending on the situation, it would play better for your mental health and for your emotional well-being.
But that's forced upon us because as a little boy growing up, you always told, don't cry,
don't show any emotion.
Don't show any emotion. Be a man. Suck it up. Be a man. From a little bit boy. So we as men, we have a lot of hurt growing up because we hold a lot in. That's why some of us, and I'll speak up on myself, you hold a lot in and you don't show it. Like you'll never really know unless you're around me 24/7 to know if something's going wrong with in my life. You would never know because I would never show that emotion. And pleasure didn't make it no better because I really don't show no emotion when things are really bothering me. So that's 90% of men out there. I'm not gonna say all of them because some people are very emotional. I counsel and speak to a lot of people, and you got a lot of emotional people. I ain't gonna say just men, but a lot of emotional people out there. They gonna spread. They some criers and some whiners and But everybody, that's why you got some people that they look up to and they look up and they wanna talk to. But that's an honoring role. But yeah, a lot of people don't. And then us being strong people, those who know they're strong, when they see you at if they do get a chance to see your works, it's like their world is crushed. Their world is like. I talked to one of my mentees, and she heard about something that was going on in my life, and it crushed her. She was just like, "You were hurt. You shed a tear. Yeah. You were down. Like I'm human. I'm not, I'm not a superhuman. I have emotions too. Yeah. But I learned how to fight through them. So, but that is back to the man thing. The man thing is like that's what's embedded us as children.
Yeah, because it's hard. Like I said, even with my sister and even with my wife and my girls, like they were taught from knee high to Betsy bug, how to nurture, how to, you know, I guess give emotion, how to cook, how to do, you know, just do all that. Like Joe said, my daddy told me up front, you better not drop a tear.
Yeah.
Drop one if you want to.
You holding them jokes.
So when we get into it, and just not all men, it's just some. So when we get into a relationship, most of the time we don't even know how to freaking express emotion. Because we just so busy, just when crisis occurred. Like for instance, I hate to go out, but my mom and dad, they were World War II, World War III, damn all day, every day. My dad, I found out later, he was a scared man. And he took it out on my mom. And I saw that growing up. So I'm like, well, damn, is this the way that I'm supposed to be? Or am I supposed to, you know, pull back? I never got an answer. So I went to my homeboy, hey man, you know, now looking at other men that I grew up with, and I'm like, this ain't what I'm supposed to do. You know, I'm supposed to do this over here. You know what I'm saying? But in between that, it's like, I'm still confused. Because I'm still, like I said, I'm 45 years old now. And I'm just now getting to the point to where I understand what manhood is about. It's about responsibility.
Yes.
And taking care of your business. Period. It ain't got nothing to do with the size of your dick, hair on your chest. I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with manhood. Oh, you gotta, what?
No, I agree.
Oh, okay.
No. Like, I think that's where, like, mentorship and having a village comes in handy. Because if you only see one variation of what it means to be a man, then your perspective is skewed. And I think that's why it's important to have more black media, more black people doing positive things, because you have to be in a place where you can have different examples of manhood. Like, I think that it was hard. I was actually just having this conversation with my homegirl. Like, for men between the ages of like 45 and 65, like, that was a dumbass time to be coming of age as a black man. And so our fathers who were bred in that era have a very difficult time showing emotion, have a very difficult time with emotional intelligence and communicating. Like, the year after I graduated college, me and my dad got into like a really big argument. Like, we used to argue all the time when I was a kid because we're a lot alike. And I would tell my dad all the time, like, I like, you're not doing what I need you to do. And like I would say, I was raised to be a very strong person. I'm a daddy's girl, so like, he has always been in my life, whatever, like, but I literally told him, like, I need you to love me differently. And this started when I was like 8, because my dad didn't grow up with his father in his life. And so when he would get mad, he would he would distance himself emotionally. Like, I'm the type of person, I like attention, I need attention, I always have. And so, like, I would go to hug my dad or ask my dad for something, and he'd be like, well, I pay child support. And it's just like, well, I don't need money, Dad. I need attention, I need time, I need love. So I had to teach my father how to love me. In return, once I got to be a grown-up, I had life experiences, I had relationships, I had to have a conversation with my dad. Like, I had to teach you how to love me. And that has skewed the way that I have relationships with men now. Because I'm not opposed to teaching men how to love me, because I understand, like, not all women need to be loved the same. But, like, that's not a conversation I'm supposed to have with my dad, because, like, you think, oh, dads are supposed to do this or dads are supposed to do that. Like, he did what he was supposed to do, but he forgot to do the things that I needed. And so I think that when we have conversations with our parents, like, I'm a very big proponent of having conversations with your parents. Because once you understand who they are, like, as people, not just, oh, this is my mom and this is her job and she cooked us dinner, and this is my dad and he went to work and he liked to grill. Like, once you understand who they are, then you start to understand why they are the way that they are. And like, that's a generation that actively needs to work to be healed, because they went to school in a time where people was just openly calling them niggers and lynching their friends, and you had civil rights and you had all this other stuff going on that shaped their worldview. So like, I had the emotional intelligence at 8 to be like, hey dad, when this happens, this is how it makes me feel, and I don't like this. Like, and so I had to learn how to communicate. And over time, our relationship adjusted. Now, I would argue I'm my dad's best friend. He don't like to tell nobody I'm his favorite child. But me and my dad can have real conversations now because I take the time to understand who he is as a person. And I have a tendency to do that with men too. Like, I wrote a poem and it's called I Love Difficult Men, because of how I built my relationship with my father. I now think that that's how you're supposed to love people. And so I believe that you have to work for love. In my mind, I know that all the time that's not right. It's only part of the situation. Like, I admit that I love difficult men. And so now moving forward, how do I take the positive things about this, like understanding how to communicate, understanding how to help people through struggles, understanding how to work through problems, and make those positive attributes that I learned in these situations work for me, and not hold on to the parts of those things that are damaged, like understanding that niggas is broken and still trying to fix them anyway. Like, those are things that like I now have to work on, because I would argue that that relationship with my father has made me stronger and more capable of love. But now when I look for men, I like men like my father. Like, I was raised around my father, I look for those things. So I have to learn how to look for those positive qualities and not just that overall broken picture.
Steve.
So is that true to a point? I know you're not married now, but is it? So there is some substance to a woman wanting a man somewhat like her dad.
Yeah.
That's
like just how you're taught to be a man by your father, and so like your idea of what it means to be a man comes from your father or other men in your life. The way that I like to be loved comes from the first love that I received.
Which, you know what, is vice versa. It's vice versa. Well, not vice versa, but it's the same thing with men.
Well, yeah.
They look for women like their mothers. They're nourishing, and whatever, however their mother was, they look for some of those aspects in the woman that they choose to be with. They do, and that's where they settle. You might veer off and talk to some type of, woman that's not, but then you like, I really don't like that.
Yeah.
And you kind of cater to the woman that's like your mother. Yeah. So I do see that. Well, you know what? We're gonna wrap this up.
All right.
We're gonna have to bring Staci back on.
Yes, Lord. Yeah.
We're gonna bring it back on because I got questions. I got questions.
Like this perspective,
man. Family, listen, check it out. Yeah, this is the process.
Yes.
We're not just talking about. This is not story times about talking about things that happen in our life. Not just talking about things in the world, but we're giving educational information. This is deep, even though it's one woman's perspective, but that one woman, she caters to millions of women who think and view this way. So I need you first, comment.
Please.
Comment.
Please.
I need you to subscribe. You already know to subscribe. We need you as a subscriber.
We need you.
We need you to like.
Please.
And you're gonna find my information down at the bottom. You're gonna find Staci's information down at the bottom. Go follow her.
Please.
She got an interesting life. She goes around the country. She always traveling. Turn it off for me. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
I'm trying to turn it off.
Right. It's just our time. But anyway, you got John. His information gonna be at the bottom.
Yeah.
But I need you to like, subscribe, and share this with the world also. So
Please don't
do
forget to
that.
comment.
Please don't forget to comment. Because I'm gonna shoot them straight to her. I'm gonna shoot them right back to you. So let us know how you feel. But you are here with me.
This feel like my chance. This feel like my moment.
And our special
Everyone
guest,
needs a fan. Everyone needs a closer. Let me see your hands up high if you know. Let me see your hands up high if you know. Nobody's a no one.